Hello everyone, and welcome to today's video. Today, we're going to be doing an energy update, an intuitive reading for the Divine Feminine Collective. As always, keep in mind that these messages are all quantum messages, meaning that they are meant to transcend time and space and meet you exactly when you're ready. So whether you're watching this today or sometime in the future, know the messages remain unchanged. So let's talk about what's going on within our collective right now, because these last few weeks have been absolutely wild. There have just been so many ups and downs, so many big changes, and the Divine Feminine Collective has recently undergone this massive timeline jump. I know I've been focusing on this jump a lot lately, but this one was truly huge for our collective. Now, I just want to preface this by saying timeline jumps aren't always these big dramatic shifts. In fact, we go through many of them, sometimes even multiple times a day. Every choice we make, every shift in consciousness, every energetic alignment moves us to a different potential timeline. But every so often, the entire collective experiences a massive leap together. And that's what I want to talk about, because that's just what happened for us. I've been getting so many downloads about this, and the best way I can really explain it is that this shift has solidified our collective consciousness within the fifth dimension. So if you have aligned your energy with this video, know that you are a part of a collective that has just entered into the 5D realms. Now, you can almost think of this collective as like a soul family in a way. It's simply a group of souls that you've incarnated with, who all work in harmony to ascend to new dimensions together. And what happens is, when enough of us have raised our frequency, the whole collective jumps together. I tend to picture this as like a huge cluster of souls, and each time we complete an earth lesson, maybe that's undoing a limiting belief, walking away from something that no longer serves us, or healing a generational pattern. When we're able to overcome and expand, it's like a little light turns on and lights up that individual soul. When enough souls light up, the entire collective jumps together. And that's exactly what's happening here. Enough of us have raised our vibration, allowing us to take this huge leap together. Now, chances are, if you're listening to this, you've probably been feeling the 5D energies for a while now, and this probably isn't a new concept for you. I see that you're someone who has been tuning into this higher reality, experiencing moments of pure alignment and glimpsing what's possible. But even though you were operating from that frequency the majority of the time, I sense that your soul was still somewhat tethered to the fourth dimension. However, now, that tether has been released. Before we get into what that means, I do want to acknowledge that this integration has been incredibly challenging for many of us, and here's why. What you need to understand is that there are infinite timelines available to you at all times. Reality is branching out in every direction, each one shaped by the frequency you hold. But right now, something monumental is happening. You are not just shifting timelines, you are collapsing the lower ones entirely, narrowing your path to the highest possible reality. Your reality is crumbling beneath you as we speak, and yet the new one hasn't fully materialized. So if everything just feels chaotic or uncertain, trust that this is the recalibration before the breakthrough. Because I just see that you are standing at a threshold of something extraordinary, where the density of the past no longer holds weight and the infinite potential of the universe really bends to meet your every intention. You are aligning with a timeline where everything you've envisioned, not just for yourself but for the collective, is already real. Now all that's left to do is really allow it to come. And you can think of it this way. It's been scientifically proven that particles can exist in multiple states until they're observed. So this means that there are multiple parallel realities available to you, and until you focus on a specific timeline, all possibilities exist at once. And what's happening right now is that you are observing, solidifying, and stepping into your next highest expression. But in doing so, the old must dissolve. And that's where this void space comes in. I'm assuming that a lot of you have probably been feeling this lull in this energy. And, over the last few months, there has just been this excitement in the air, like this momentum, like you knew something big was happening, you felt the shift, but now things just really kind of feel stagnant for you. You've watched things crumble and watched things fall away in your reality, and now it's like you're exhausted. I just see you standing in an empty space where things used to be, but nothing has really arrived to replace them yet. And this is when you must really allow yourself to trust in divine timing. Trust that everything is being rearranged in the unseen realms. You are not being abandoned. You are not stuck. You are simply in transition, and this period of stillness is an integral part of the process. I'm hearing your guides say, just wait. So maybe that's a sign to kind of really slow down, to enjoy this present moment, and really allow the universe to do the footwork for you. But maybe this could also be your guide saying, just wait and see. If you only knew how good things were about to get, all these lower vibrational energies that you're currently feeling would just simply fade away. So go ahead and take whatever is most relevant for you there. So let's kind of switch gears and talk more about this new timeline we've just landed on, because this is where things kind of start to get exciting. All week I've been receiving the download that this is a timeline of abundance. And as we fully integrate into the new 5D reality, we need to understand that the way things work here are not the same way as they do in the third dimension or fourth dimension. So let's break this down a little. As we move from the third dimension into the fourth dimension and step into 4D consciousness, we start to awaken the idea of duality. We begin to see beyond the illusions, and our spiritual gifts start to come online. Our mission to elevate human consciousness begins to make itself known. But the fifth dimension, this is where we become creators. This is where we stop reacting and start manifesting, not through force, not through constant action, but through our frequency. In the fifth dimension, Earth itself begins to feel more like a simulation in a way, kind of like a game where you are both the player and the architect. You start to realize that everything is energy, and what you align with internally will always manifest externally. This is the frequency of divine union, of divine creation, of complete and total abundance. And one of the biggest shifts as we enter into this higher realm is that we really start to see the world through a lens of oneness. And I want to bring in something ancient here, because this knowledge isn't new. In fact, as we continue to obtain what we consider new information in the physical, it's actually nothing more than a remembrance. This knowledge is encoded in our soul, our DNA. The idea that we are all one consciousness, fragmented into individual expressions, is something that has been taught for centuries. In many ancient teachings, they describe this idea that to truly tap into abundance, we must shift our focus away from ego-based desires and into service. Not in a self-sacrificing way, but in a way that recognizes that when we uplift others, we uplift ourselves, because we are all one. And to the divine feminine listening, this is where your mission is expanding. Many of us have been working on an individual level, acting as a bridge for one person at a time, helping individuals ascend into higher realms and states of being. But now we are being called into something greater. We are being asked to bring our energy, our gifts, our voice into the collective field, to shift from working within to working outward. And for many of you, this means creating, whether that's through speaking, writing, music, art, movement. Your frequency is needed now more than ever. We are remembering what it means to be light workers in the purest sense. We are no longer just holding light, we are emitting it. We are activating others simply by being in alignment with ourselves and through our creations. So if you've been feeling this pull to step forward, to share, to create, this is your confirmation. This is your invitation. Trust that, follow that, because we are here to do this together. And this has always been a part of your divine mission. You are remembering why you came here, and now that we are in the fifth dimension, you must share your gifts with the world. So that feels like a good place to end today's reading. If this resonated with you, let me know in the comments. I would love to hear how you've been feeling through this shift and if you can relate. And if you feel called, please like and subscribe so we can continue growing this community. And as always, I'm sending you so much love and light, and I'll connect with you in the next video.